You've probably been told your whole life that overthinking is a bad habit, something you need to get over. But what if I told you it's not a bug, but actually a feature? What if it's a sign of a deeply intelligent mind? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into.
Let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? It's, 3 in the morning, everything's quiet, but your brain is just on fire, replaying every tiny detail of some random conversation you had years ago.
Or how about this? You're just trying to pick a restaurant for dinner, but your mind has already generated a spreadsheet of 50 what-if scenarios for each option. If you're nodding along right now, trust me, you are in exactly the right place.
Now, the common view is to just slap a label on it, call it anxiety, and tell you to just stop thinking so much. But here's the thing. A lot of research is now pointing to a really powerful connection between this kind of deep, relentless thinking and seriously high intelligence.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're about to walk through 5 key signs that your overthinking habit is actually tied to a brilliant mind. And here's the challenge. If you recognize yourself in at least 3 of these, it might be time to rethink how smart you really are. All right, let's jump in with sign number 1. This is a big one because it's a fundamental difference in how your mind even works. It's not just that you think a lot, it's how you think. We're talking about thinking in layers. And this right here is the crucial difference. A lot of people get stuck on a hamster wheel of worry, just going around and around on the same thought. That's thinking in circles. But an intelligent mind, it thinks in layers. It takes a problem apart, looks at it from every conceivable angle, and explores all the connections. And this actually has a name. It's not just random worrying. It's called strategic overthinking. It's this incredible high-level process where you're not just seeing the issue in front of you, you're seeing the entire web of possibilities surrounding it, all the potential moves and all the counter moves. I love this analogy because it's so true. It's like you're playing a constant game of mental chess. While everyone else is just focused on their very next move, you're already way down the board, calculating what's going to happen 10 moves from now. Okay, on to sign number 2. Now, this one can often feel like a major weakness, but I promise you, it's directly tied to the incredible depth of your thinking. Let's talk about the dreaded analysis paralysis. Ever been accused of having analysis paralysis? Well, this chart basically shows you why. When you're faced with a choice, your brain isn't just weighing a few things. No, you're considering a massive number of variables, all these connections and outcomes that most people don't even see. So yeah, the world might look at that and call you indecisive. But that's not what's really going on. The reality is you're being incredibly thorough. Your brain is wired to value making the right decision way more than making a fast one. Now for sign number 3, which is all about communication. This explains why overthinkers often get labeled as shy or too quiet, when really there's this incredibly complex process happening behind the scenes. Seriously, if this has ever been you, listen up. You're in a meeting, you're at a party, and you're not jumping into the conversation right away. People look at you and they think, oh, they're just shy. But what's happening inside your head is anything but quiet. It's this amazing thing called mental editing. Before a single word even has a chance of leaving your mouth, you've already run it through this intense quality control filter. You're building the sentence, testing its impact, refining the point, all in a blink of an eye. That's not shyness, that's some high-level brain power at work. And the end result of all that work is so powerful. You might speak less often, sure, but when you do, your words tend to carry so much more weight. You're not just adding to the noise. You're making sure what you say is insightful, precise, and actually matters. All right, we're rounding the corner with our last 2 signs, and these 2 are really like 2 sides of the very same coin. One is about the intense pressure you put on yourself, and the other is about the intellectual curiosity that just won't quit. So, sign number 4 is something called maladaptive perfectionism. And let's be super clear. This isn't just about liking your desk to be neat. Oh no. This is about setting a standard for yourself that is so high it's almost impossible to reach. It makes you your own, by far, harshest critic. So even when you succeed, even when everyone is congratulating you, you're the one who can list every single tiny flaw. And because your internal standards are just on another planet compared to everyone else's, this can lead directly to that awful, nagging feeling of imposter syndrome. But that same intensity leads us to our 5th and final sign, cognitive play. Think about it this way. Your mind is a high-performance engine. It can't just idle. It gets bored. And sometimes what we call overthinking is really just your brain trying to find a good, juicy challenge to sink its teeth into.
So when you find yourself going down a rabbit hole about some complex topic or trying to solve a problem nobody even asked you to solve, that's not a distraction. That's your brain going to the gym. It's mental cross-training, and it's what keeps that amazing mind of yours sharp and ready for anything.
So we've talked about the layers, the analysis trap, the mental editing, the perfectionism, and the play. So what's the big takeaway here? What does all of this really mean for you?
And this is so, so important. I really want you to let this sink in. If you saw yourself in these signs, you need to know, deep down, that your mind is not broken. It's not a flaw that you need to fix.
It's just operating on a whole other level. It's an advanced piece of hardware that was built to handle more data, see more connections, and process more complexity than the average mind. It's built for more. So we're going to end on this thought. Your strategic, complex, sometimes exhausting mind is an incredible gift. It lets you see the world with a richness and a depth that most people will never experience. The challenge isn't to silence it. The challenge is to learn how to harness it. So the only real question is, how well are you using yours?